The establishment said it was dead on arrival. The swamp creatures claim they had the votes to kill it. Even some Republicans whispered it couldn't pass. Well, they were all wrong. In a moment that will echo through history, the vice president cast a deciding vote that changed everything. The one big beautiful bill has cleared its biggest hurdle, and the implications are staggering. $4 trillion hangs in the balance, your paycheck, your retirement, your children's future, all riding on what happens next. And the media won't tell you what's really in this bill, and they won't explain why the establishment fears it, but we will. So stay tuned. And as Trump's big, beautiful bill promises the greatest tax cut in history, there's something even more valuable you can give your family: economic literacy. The Tuttle Twins magazine, you can see it right here. It teaches kids how money really works, why lower taxes create prosperity, and how government spending affects their future. While politicians debate trillion-dollar bills, your children need to understand these concepts now. The monthly magazine breaks down economics, liberty, and responsibility through fun comics and activities. Don't let schools indoctrinate your kid with socialist economics. Subscribe, a family member, a grandchild, a niece, or a nephew for just $56 a year. That's nothing, okay? It is an investment in their education. Visit TuttleTwins.com/next and give them the tools to understand why this tax bill matters for their generation. Remember, freedom is never more than one generation from extinction. Now, let's jump into what we've got going on here. Did you see this? A reporter asked President Trump if he would deport Elon Musk. What did he say? He said, we'll have to take a look. What?
Terminated. I don't know. I think we'll have to take a look. We might have to put DOGE on Elon. You know what DOGE is? DOGE is the monster that might have to go back and eat Elon. Wouldn't that be terrible? He gets a lot of subsidies, Peter. But Elon's very upset that the EV mandate is going to be terminated. And you know what? When you look at it, not everybody wants an electric car. I don't want an electric car. I want to have maybe gasoline, maybe electric, maybe a hybrid, maybe someday a hydrogen. If you have a hydrogen car, it has one problem. It blows up, So I'm going to give that one to Peter. I'm going to let Peter test.
What? Deport Elon Musk? Oh, it sounds like there's trouble in paradise. Here we have more. Fox News, I admire Elon's leadership on rockets. I'll take care of the finances. Here's Secretary Scott Bessent on Fox and Friends talking about Trump's big, beautiful bill.
White House. Elon Musk says this. It's obvious with this insane spending bill, increases the debt ceiling by $5 trillion. We live in a one-party country, the Porky Pig Party. Time for a new political party that actually cares about the people. And he's probably going to start one if this passes. What's your reaction? You guys famously tangled in the White House.
I admire Elon's leadership on rockets. I will take care of the finances.
So do you feel as though he says the $5 trillion added to the deficit? You don't agree?
I don't agree at all. Let me tell you why. Because this bill will set off growth like we've never seen before. The CBO projections only project 1.8% per year growth, which is substantially below what we saw in President Trump's first term. And I think we are going to see big acceleration here. And once you see the growth trajectory change to an upward bias, the bill more than pays for itself. We could be in surplus.
Sounds good to me. The bill pays for itself. What do we have here? Applause breaking out in Florida as the president is informed that the Senate passed the one big beautiful bill.
Oh, thank you. Wow. Thank you. I'm waiting, listening to these wonderful words, and they are music to my ears, but I was also wondering how we're doing, because I know this is prime time. It shows that I care about you because I'm here and I probably should be there, but we do care. Thank you very much.
And President Trump down in Florida checking out alligator Alcatraz. Oh, what's Chuck Schumer? Oh, he's still trying to cause, after failing in the Senate, Schumer is still trying to cause the largest tax hike in American history and lying in the process.
I'm urging every House Democrat to vote no. and emerging Republican House members. We have 6 in New York. This bill clobbers New York. They should, if they vote for it, they're betraying New York. I'm urging every House Democrat.
Yeah, he should probably be more worried about the mayor incoming to New York if he actually wins. Here's President Trump on Air Force One talking about deportations.
Angst. Well, it's going to take a long period of time. We're going to have a lot of angst because it's a tough thing. But no, I think they're doing an amazing job. And we're doing a lot of home deportations. We're doing a lot of deportations,
He said home deportations. I said Home Depot. But yeah, they're going to Home Depot too.
Deportations where they come in and they deport, and then they want to come back into the country. And they can only come back into the country under no circumstances unless they go out the proper way. Otherwise, they're never coming back in. No, I think it's going very well. Look, Biden did us a tremendous disservice when he allowed this to happen to our country. And I always said it's the toughest thing. I had inflation and I got rid of it. We don't have inflation. I had a bad economy and we set a new stock market high today. And we're doing unbelievable. The country is doing unbelievable. I always said the most difficult thing is what happened at the border, allowing 21 or 25 million people to come into our country. It's the most difficult thing. It's a very hard thing. I think we're doing a fantastic job in getting them out. But you have a...
Let's keep going. We got some more news to cover here. Let's see. Illinois. What? Rapid Response 47. Rockford gas prices ticked down over the past week. Let's see what's going on in Illinois.
To the lowest. Rockford gas prices ticked down slightly over the past week. That's according to the latest report from Gas Buddy. An average gallon of gas currently costs $3.24. The national average fell as well, down to the lowest price for the 4th of July weekend since 2021. Wow. Despite tensions in the Middle East, oil prices have fallen after a ceasefire deal between Israel and Iran last week.
I'll take it. I'll take that penny. Thank you. Here's more. La Crosse, Wisconsin.
Down. Here's the good news. Gas prices are down.
Gas prices are much lower than we have seen in recent years, about 20 cents lower than they were this time last year.
As of Monday, the average price for a gallon of regular gas was $3.19. That's 3 cents cheaper than a week ago.
That sounds good to me. Let's see what else we got going on here. Okay, NEC Director Kevin Hassett talking about if the bill doesn't pass, what will happen?
CBO's.
How are you sure that this one will not do what the Congressional Budget Office says it's going to do?
Well, the CBO's record is sort of 0 for a million, right? And so if we've got a person who's been playing in the major leagues and has never got a hit, then you should pretty much count on the fact that they're not going to have a hit again. The bottom line is that if this bill doesn't pass the House, then the one thing we know for sure is that the deficit's going to explode. We're going to have a recession, and revenues are going to go way down, and government spending is going to go way up because of all the welfare and everything that has to go up in a recession. And so if you don't pass this bill, for sure you're going to have a massive increase in the deficit. If you do pass the bill, then what's going to happen is you're going to get all the spending cuts. The biggest spending cut bill in history is the thing that just passed the Senate. And then you're going to have the growth from all of the tax cuts. And so the growth from the tax cuts by the Council of Economic Advisors estimate is going to raise $4 trillion in revenue over the next 10 years, more than what the CBO says. That $4 trillion is more than enough to pay for the bill. And then the other thing.
Sounds good to me. Let's keep going because the bill did pass. Here's the Treasury Deputy Secretary talking about the implementation of the bill and the trade deals that are underway.
I'm still to this day shocked that the economists over at the Fed refuse to admit that the tax and spending and deregulatory agenda that we had in the 2017 to 2019 timeframe that we are implementing again during the second term of the Trump administration generated incredible success. We had huge job gains, we had huge wage gains, we had great economic growth, and we had low inflation. And so what we're doing is going back to a proven strategy. If you create incentives for American people to invest in our nation by putting capital to work, by staying in the labor force, by having workers and companies focus on their actual activities of providing goods and services to the American people rather than engaging in regulatory compliance, you can better serve the American people's needs without inflation.
Right.
And so as we implement this bill, as we get our trade deals underway, as we allow people and businesses to make their own decisions, we will, in a non-inflationary way, bring prosperity to the American people.
Prosperity is coming to America after devastating years of Joe Biden. Oh, here's a meme. Gotta love the memes.
Amended is divided. The vice president votes in the affirmative. The bill as amended is passed.
Oh, one of my favorite memes ever. Here is the actual moment.
Nays are 50. On this vote, the yeas are 50. The nays are 50. The Senate being evenly divided, the vice president votes in the affirmative.
Wow.
The bill as amended is passed.
Wow. That's how close it is, folks. Razor thin margins right now. And that is why we need to hold the House. We need to hold the Senate. Here is Senator Marsha Blackburn. This is just 24 hours ago. Talking about strengthening Medicaid by ending the corruption that has allowed 1.4 million illegal aliens to exploit the program.
Estimate there are millions of vulnerable Americans, including the disabled, elderly, and low-income children, depend on Medicaid for vital health care services. But waste, fraud, and abuse are pushing this program to the point of insolvency. According to one estimate, there were more than $1 trillion in improper payments over the last decade. To protect Medicaid for those who truly need it, this corruption must end, including by removing the 1.4 million illegal aliens who are currently exploiting the program. My amendment would close a loophole that allows illegal aliens to receive Medicaid coverage for up to 90 days by blocking federal taxpayer dollars from funding benefits for prospective beneficiaries until their citizenship or lawful presence is verified. I urge a yes vote on this amendment, and I ask for the yeas and nays.
In the Senate Democrats fought tooth and nail against that. Here it is. Overnight, Democrats voted against expanding Medicaid coverage for those with developed disabilities. Once again, they're putting politics over the most vulnerable.
Of attempting to. One Republican, however, Missouri Senator Eric Schmidt, took to the floor overnight to blast Democrats, saying, in fact, they were the ones putting benefits at risk, with the Republican accusing Democrats of attempting to weaken his provision in the bill to expand Medicaid coverage for Americans with developmental disabilities.
Medicaid exists to serve our patients. I've heard a lot from my Democrat colleagues about cutting benefits. It's all a lie. They're about to vote to cut off important benefits for the most vulnerable among us. So I'm tired of the lectures. This is actually a provision that does it. They're about to vote no.
Okay, so now we're ending.
Senator Lisa Murkowski has flipped, and she was now a yes on the One Big Beautiful Bill. I wonder what happened there. Yeah, she's no fan of President Trump, meaning the GOP now has the votes to pass Trump's legislation, and we know that it passed. So, great news, but this this little tiff between Trump and Elon, yeah, interesting. Will he deport Elon Musk? I don't think so. I think it's all rhetoric. What do the proposed community notes say on this? Elon Musk has always been in favor of ending EV subsidies along with oil and gas subsidies. And they cite Forbes, Business Insider, and more. Elon Musk has always been in favor. So that's what the community notes are saying. But we'll find out soon enough. I don't think Trump's going to do anything. But yes, the applause is very welcome right now. If you got value from this report, tap subscribe. It's time for my final thought. Now, this is not just another tax bill. It's a referendum on America's future. When the Council of Economic Advisors chairman warns of a $4 trillion tax bomb if it fails, when recession looms as the alternative, when even Lisa Murkowski flips to save the republic, you know the stakes. The establishment wanted this bill dead because it returns power to working Americans. It slashes their ability to confiscate your wealth. It destroys their leverage over your life. CNN's having a meltdown over Trump's fragrance line while ignoring that gas prices just hit their lowest 4th of July levels since 2021. That tells you everything. They'd rather mock than report how this bill will supercharge our economy. So here's the question. Should Republicans who voted against this historic tax cut, should they be primaried? Yes or no? Let me know in the comments below. And make sure you grab our new Next News swags. The new shirts have just dropped. No escape from Alligator Alcatraz in our famous President Otto Penn t-shirt. People are loving it. Trigger a liberal today by visiting shop.nextnewsnetwork.com and support the Next News Network in the process.